So you've probably been seeing a lot of stuff in the news about student loans where they're going to start requiring people to start paying on them. They're going to be coming out of deferment. A lot of people are seeing that they got late payments automatically added on their student loans. And this has really got a lot of people kind of frustrated. It's got people kind of worried because they don't know if they're going to be able to afford to maintain their household with the newly added payments when they come out of deferments, because there's not certainty on what's going to be the amount that they're going to have to pay. Are they going to have to pay, are they going to still have available the income payment plans, or are they going to amortize these loans based on how much people owe, and they're going to be paying some hefty monthly payments? Well, there's also been a lot of stories about loan forgiveness with student loans. And yes, there are still programs out there, and I'm going to go over some, but I always want to go the extra mile when I'm getting information for you. We used to do this stuff really big in the past, but we had stopped because we were just like, hey, you could just go to the Department of Education and fill out the paperwork. But a lot of people did not want to do it, they were, I guess, I don't want to say that they were lazy, but they didn't really want to fill out the paperwork. But where we're at right now, I think that you should, if you have student loans and you fall into these categories, you should look at the available option for getting your debt forgiven if you fall under one of these criteria that are available to you. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is this what's called a BDR, and this was put together by the federal government for individuals who were misled with their loans, like they were totally misled. So what I've got here to go the extra mile, because I thought about making the video and I was just going to explain the program, but then it was like, you know how it is. People are like, well, how do I fit in on this? Was I actually harmed? Because this student loan forgiveness program is for people who were actually misled or harmed by the institutions. So right here we have a loan forgiveness application that is still available that you can utilize if you went to any of these former Corinthian College schools, which is Harold, Everest, and Wyotech. You may qualify for federal student loan forgiveness. Now, this is what the basis of this loan forgiveness is all about. Department of Education determined that Harold, Everest, and Wyotech, I guess that's what it is, Wyotech, published misleading job placement rates for many programs between 2010 and 2014. Don't worry if it's not in between there, because the program itself still stands if you fall into these categories. So if you enrolled in one of these programs during the covered time, you can apply for loan forgiveness through an expedited process. So through an expedited process, if you had a loan during that period of time, it does not mean that if you had something with them after that period of time or with any other school that you will not be able to apply. This is just where they just ruled that, hey, this group of schools was in the wrong, whatever agreement, whatever settlement they had with them, it allowed for an expedited process. So what you want to do is you want to check if your school misrepresented job placement rates for your program when you enrolled, and utilize this same information for schools that you might be with also, because it's not just this group of schools. Now, the next thing is for Harold Student Aid, they had a direct link that would go to them. If you enrolled in one of these programs during the covered time frame, fill out the appropriate application form, and then you would send that stuff in. So now let's just go through a breakdown. And when you hear what they were accused of doing, this is how you can relate it to the school that you're at. And I'm going to show you how you can go to the Department of Education and where the link is for you to fill it out for your specific school. So before we continue to get to the links, I just want to go over a little bit more of this, because there are some people that are still out there that went to this group of schools. So it says what you need to do is complete the application for your school, reference number 2, in the section called Other Information. Provide a detailed account of your allegations of misconduct. You may also attach a separate letter to the form. You need to, if you have any type of evidence, what you should do is you should make sure, like, take a little bit of time and think about who you spoke with. What I tell people to do is to pretend like it was the first day that you walked right into that door at that school. And also even before that, the advertisement that you saw to get you to go to that school. What was said in that advertisement? Because that could be part of the false advertisement. What was said to you when you went in there? What was said to you by individuals who were supposed to be of authority? I relate it to like a timeshare. Was there a hard sales pitch on there for you? Did they say things like, well, don't you want a job? Don't you want to better your life? See, they're not allowed to do things like that to entice you to sign up for their school, because you're in a vulnerable position, because you are trying to educate yourself to get yourself into a better place. So you can almost be overwhelmed and fall for anything. So these are the guidelines that you have to go through, and I'm going to talk specifically about some more here. Let's go over to the Department of Education, and we're going to be mainly talking about this one right here. These are some of the other programs that are available, and I'll speak on those too. So first, to qualify for loan forgiveness under BDR, which is Borrower Defense to Repay Program, you must demonstrate that your school made false or misleading statements or engaged in other misconduct related to your federal student loan or educational services provided. The school's actions directly influenced your decision to enroll or remained enrolled. You suffered harm as a result of the school's misconduct. These are the 3 criteria. So let me give you some examples. Examples of misconduct include misrepresenting job placement rates. Now, they're not talking about the amount that you're going to get paid. I want to make sure that we're clear. Job placement rates. So when you graduated, so what they might say is that when 100% of our students they graduate, 100% of them get placed, or 90% of them get placed, or 80% of them get placed. But you find out that that's not true. That you actually find out that that's not true. You've already met one of the criteria. Another one is the credits are transferable to other higher education schools, and you found out that they were not transferable. That's another one. Also, that the accreditation status of the program. You got the education, you went to go get a job, and it turned out that that accreditation was not accepted by jobs that they claimed they would be accepted by. So those are the 3 criteria that you gotta that you're gonna be looking at. And again, what I want you to do is take it from the day that you saw their advertisement. And then, it's like you're going to relive the experience. And you want to try to figure out what drew you to go to them. What did they say? What did they say when you went in there? All of the stuff. Any type of pressure that was put upon you by any type of authority figure. Promises made. All of that stuff. That is going to help you qualify for this program if your school was engaged in that type of stuff. So now, let's quickly talk about some of the program, forgiveness program. So you got the public service loan forgiveness program. This is if you've been in public service, school teacher, well, they got one specifically for school teachers, but police officers, firemen, different types of public servants, you can get your loans forgiven. Usually there's a period of time that you have to pay, and then they will forgive those loans. Teacher loan forgiveness program, then the BDR program that I just talked about, and then the total and permanent disability discharge program. I've done a few of those for individuals who were considered permanently disabled, where they just were not going to ever be able to get a job again. So now, what I want you to do, if you fall into this category, or if you just want to research to make sure to get some information on this, is go directly to studentaid.gov. You want to go to the official website. You see this? An official website of the United States government. You want to go there, not none of these offshoot websites. You want to make sure that you're at the right place. Then you can also look at the different types of repayment programs, consolidating your loans. Also, there was something that I had read with the application. So eligible loans, federal direct loans are eligible for discharge under BDR. If you have a federal family education loan, FFEL program loans, or federal Perkins loans, you may become eligible by consolidating them into a direct consolidation loan. And I just showed you where they had that consolidated loan. So if you, just to be clear, even if you fall under the criteria to get your loans forgiven under the BDR program, if they are a federal family education loan, FFEL, or a Perkins loan, you can still qualify it, but you're going to have to get them consolidated first. So don't get frustrated. There might be some work, but it's going to be worth it. It will be worth it if you do this, especially if you're sitting there and you got $100,000. I even had an attorney had over $250,000 worth of student loans. So it is worth it to you. Now, he didn't qualify to get total loan forgiveness, but he did qualify for some of the relief programs. So go to studentaid.gov. You can see all of the different programs that are available and the loan forgiveness programs that are available. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. That's free. Set your limitations, debt validation, cease and desist. All the links are below this video. If you're getting sued by a debt collector, or you want to have your debt collection letter created for you, where you don't have to do anything but just upload it, go to summonsmaster.com. Summonsmaster.com. Please subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.